fast returns and lowball offers too. Barrel takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys and rude buys galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that is within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flippin' Ain't Easy, and it's been a very unproductive day for me. Let me just fix my camera here. Unproductive day for me in that I had to trek all the way to the other side of the Vegas Valley. It's like 25 miles each direction, and then go to that ophthalmologist. And I don't know. I mean, they probed and prodded and put drops in my eyes and did all kinds of things to me. They tell me that I can't wear my lenses, my contacts, for a couple weeks, or actually for at least a week. I have to go back next week and see them again because they think I have maybe a little bit of a viral infection in my eye. Now, you guys might see my eyes might look kind of reddish, but I'm not putting any. I usually put some of these Lumify drops in my eye, and they are they keep my eyes really clear and not red. But he told me to back off of these for a little while and take the drops that they prescribed me. So if I look kind of crappy, then hey, I apologize. I'm just, I will do this show no matter how I feel or look. It doesn't matter to me. That's how important it is. So really not a whole lot going on today. I snuck home a little earlier than I probably was supposed to, being that I had to drive myself. But I needed to get some listings done, and I did get some listings done, and I still got a little bit more to go. I don't know how long this live is going to be because I just really didn't get a good chance to prepare all that well for it. But thank you nonetheless for being here and hanging with me on this live. Essentially, the sales are going well. Now, I say that I this morning before I left to go out that direction for my appointment, I posted the live stream, and I really didn't have a topic, so I just kind of put what I'm dealing with, and that is steady sales, and these returns are just out of control. You got the remorse returns, you got issues with the item returns, and it just seems like the more sales, I guess that's the symptom of having good sales. The more sales you have, the more returns you're going to have. Now, looking at my graph today, I ain't doing that great today. Looking at my graph today, I've got one sale for $62. Yesterday was a good day. I mean, pretty decent. I'm up 21.5% over the last 31 days. But you guys got to remember, the prior 31 days, we really started having really strong days. And just to show you my performance for the year, we're at 98,000. This is on the main account, so we're well over 100,000 between the two accounts. It says 56 net, but that's probably closer to about 48 to 50 net on that because of the shipping labels and the cost of goods. Probably cost of goods probably like 45-ish, and the labels that we do most of our labels on eBay, so I'm kind of, most of this is cost of goods that's not there. But $76.94 ASP, even though I have a report from eBay saying that my ASP has gone up to like 82, so maybe it continues to rise because I keep listing higher ASP things. And then the number of items sold this year is 1,276, which is a little down from last year. So you know what? Not at all upset by that. My numbers will definitely start going up if the changes that I made for Q4 coming up here, the end of Q3 coming up Q4, work the way I think that they are going to work. But I'm noticing that between the $600 in the $600 threshold, $600 threshold being moved to $5,000, then being moved again to now $20,000 plus 200 transactions for the 1099K, that's getting more people to sell again. And that means there's more competition. AI listers getting more items up from those people that were listing maybe 20 to say 50 a week are now listing 50 to 500 a week. So it's going to cause it to be a little bit more difficult. So despite all the changes that I'm making to get more product and stuff, my only hope is that a lot of the categories that I'm in isn't necessarily up against those sellers, because you got a lot of people doing books, CDs, DVDs, LPs, you name it, postcards, and I'm not into any of those categories, but as these listers expand, it may affect a category near you. So, want to know who we have here with us today, and like I said, I don't know how long we're going to do this live. Really, I don't really have a lot of content to give you, other than there's something I do want to talk about here in a second. But I think this show is going to be pretty much driven by you guys today. So let's see who we have here. We have Joe Samard. Thanks for being here, Joe. Henri Squaw, second, and Keith Pitco, third. He'll be posting early. Must be bored with Jenna away. No, it's not about being bored with Jenna away. It's me being like, okay, if I'm going to be gone all day, and I really didn't know if I was going to get home like right before the show, or if I was going to be able to sneak away like I did to get my prescription and all that stuff and get back in time, I had to get the show listed early. Emil says, tracking on eBay is broken. Items say delivered, but money seems to be held indefinitely for new accounts. I have to manually delete the tracking and re-add it for my older items, or I get defects. That's very, very interesting. I do have one where it's a ground advantage under a pound going to Miami, Florida. We're talking like a $10 item, and it shows that it was out for delivery on Monday afternoon, and they still have not received it. So I told them, I said, go ahead and open an item not received. It is what it is. And the thing is, a lot of people would say, just give them their money back, right? So that's the intention. If they don't get the item, they're going to get their money back. But by having them open an item not received, you get eBay sort of involved in the seller protection process. So now it's part of a claim. And then when you refund it by the deadline to the buyer, then you're essentially protected if eBay shows that it was received after you refund. And then, of course, you're going to file a claim through USPS. So you're going to win either way. Just depends on what happens with that tracking number. Yes, and hit the like button. Keith had 2 sales since clicking it. I think there's something... Look, I'll say this. There's a lot of naysayers out there. I think it's more magical to click my like button than it is to use eBay's AI. I'll just put it that way. Mike Metko says, hi, John and FA family. Did Jenna arrive okay? Wednesday's member live was pretty good show. My sales still been steady. Garage sales look light this weekend. Hope everyone doing well. So, yes, Jenna flew to California. We took her to the airport on Wednesday, and I have a habit of trying to turn trips like that into something productive. So it wasn't just a trip to the airport. So we dropped her off at the airport, and then I went to all my rounds and picked up stuff to resell, brought it home, and did my thing. I keep myself busy when she's not here. She made it okay. She's with her sisters, and they're all doing different activities. They're going to have a party tomorrow for Labor Day weekend. And myself, I'm going to have Archie over here tomorrow. We have a fantasy football league that's really kind of an involved league. It takes like hours because there's so many rounds and teams and all that. So we're going to be drafting from like 8 a.m. to like 2 to 3 in the afternoon. So we're going to make a day of that. But remember, it's Labor Day weekend, so you do not have to ship on Monday. You do get a reprieve from shipping on Monday. And to me, all that means is that it's just going to be more packages on Tuesday that they're going to have to pick up, provided that I do better than $62 today, because that's all it seems like is happening. But the good news is, the good news is this: the mailman is here, but the good news is the packages are outside, and he is excellent at picking them up. So yes, he just picked them up. So outstanding. And I don't see that he left me any packages. So that means that I don't have any returns today to process. So that's always a win for me. Whoops. Let's see. So Mike Mecco says, "Hi Keith, I liked your intro video to your channel, and this shorts explaining your operation were interesting too. Everyone check out the channel." Yeah, so check out the channel. That's Keith's channel. That's Pitco's channel. I'm really bad, so I apologize. I haven't seen it yet. I just don't watch a lot of YouTube, guys. I really don't. I've got a process, and I will watch a video here and there. Especially like this time of year, I'm playing a lot of like the fantasy football draft videos and stupid stuff that nobody here cares about. But I'll play stuff in the background to kind of condition my subconscious mind to get into that mode. So like tomorrow comes, I'm fully focused on that. Let's see. Yes, Keith. I think when you're building a channel, you need all the help that you can get. Curious though, is it just showing your operations? Are you starting to put together a full-fledged YouTube channel just to show your operations? Kind of curious what you plan on doing with your channel. Mike says, "I'll push it out on my channel. I'll tell Mary." So there we go. That's the community here for you. Brenda Smith says, "Happy Friday, everyone." Nice to see you, Brenda. A few yard sales this weekend. Next weekend, annual town-wide sales. I hope he's not bringing me a package now after I said he's not bringing me a package. And I think I see something on the ground. Well, that sucks. He did leave me a package. Okay, we'll just deal with it. We got Kevin Hawthorne in Lakeland, Florida, even though he will not tell us any longer where he's at. Nice to see you, Kevin. Casey, New York says, "Happy Friday and Labor Day weekend, everyone." And do you think, and I guess I should know the answer to this, but I'm wondering if maybe we just shouldn't expect a whole lot of sales this weekend because it is Labor Day weekend and people are sort of out and about and spending time with family. But a lot of the kids are back at school already. I don't know. What do you guys think? Derek W. Pat is with us. Hello, FA fam. Happy Friday. Nice to see you. Kelly Deb says, "Hello, John and chat. I hope everyone is doing well. As well as I'm going to be. Hopefully my eyes aren't that bad. I mean, they're a little bit on the red side, but I'm going to make it through." Henri Squaw says, "Howdy, John and FA chat family." Nice to see you, Henri Squaw. And what happens here? We have an offer. Can't pass up on an offer. They want to give me $150 for a $169.99 item. So I think I'm going to take that. Especially being that this is more for a swimming pool. And swimming pools are, for the most part, seasonal, I'd say. There's some areas of the country that are going to be shutting down their pool because it's going to start getting too cold to swim. Other areas like Southern California, Las Vegas, I mean, they swim most of the year anyway. But certainly I'll take $150 for $169 item. So that's my sale, guys. I got my sale. Now I haven't heard the cha-ching hit yet, but I did hit accept. So now we're just there it is. Wondering if their payment's going to take, but we'll take that. Keith says, "Yes, I agree. The Members Live was a good show, and so was the live with Primo and Spam that you did afterwards. And then following that, 12 hours later, I did my video. Still no sleep. Get some sleep, darn it. Seems like every time I sleep or try to take a nap or where I get some rest, like someone comes to the door, I get a text. Yeah, it's my fault for not shutting the phone off. Something, the dog barks or something wakes me up. So that's kind of what happened today when I got back. I tried to sneak in a 30-minute nap, and no, that wasn't happening. So as far as the live stream, we did have a good members-only live on Wednesday. And I got to say, I'm going to save, see, the members got to get a little sneak peek. But there is something I wanted to show everyone, but I'm going to make a dedicated video for that. It's the file that the eBay reps look at when they're looking at your account. And it is very interesting to see what they're looking at that for whatever reason they won't show us. and I'm going to put a video out here. Probably work on that over the weekend and get that out to the masses. But if you're a member, you can always go to the live and check it out and the breakdown that we did. But this time I'm going to do a video that's going to maybe incorporate a little bit of AI to help me fully understand what some of these things are on this file that they shared with me from eBay Open. Ping G is with us. Nice to see you, Ping G. And I think we saw Callie Debs, but I didn't see... we saw Callie Debs here. There's Callie Debs. Coppercat says, hello, FA family. Hoping we get a lot of sales this holiday weekend. So let's get past the holiday weekend. I'm not sure we're going to have such a great holiday weekend. What is your outlook for Q4 this year? Do you feel like, are you optimistic? Are you thinking that things are going to be a little bit better? Do you think that we're going to have more competition, kind of like the way I think? Or do you feel like some markets are going to be a little bit more saturated than normal? And how are you going to make adjustments to deal with those things? We have, here is Reseller Life. This is Roman for Archie's non-alcoholic drink tomorrow when he will visit. You don't have to do that, Roman, man. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for leaving the super chat. And of course, we always say, go check out his channel. One thing you got to know about Roman, I don't care how serious he may seem, right? There's been moments where he has been serious, but the videos that he's putting out, he's just doing it from a comedy standpoint, and I don't know if people realize that or not. So I just put that out there. But thank you, buddy. Thank you for dropping by and being part of this community. It's awesome. Let's see. Duncan says, I think I ate too much pizza last night. Too many orders to pack. Too lazy to do it. But
you can do it!
You can always do it, Duncan. Thank you for being here. Went and did bowling. My first week back from taking 3 months off. It's this new fall season. And had a great time. But it's funny because my eyes got really aggravated, and this morning I'm like, I ain't going to put any drops in there. I'm going to let these doctors see exactly what I'm waking up with. And so, yeah, that got them to go, oh, what's going on here? I mean, they were red, guys. I mean, it's like you thought I'd maybe have pink eye in both eyes, but that's how bad it was. So got that's back on. So we're dealing back with football season and bowling Thursday night. So maybe you can count those as distractions for me. Keith just got his third cha-ching from hitting the like button, guys. I'm telling you, hit that like button. Again, I don't know how or why it works, but we get together as a community. There's about 100 people that usually watch, maybe 150. Sometimes when the topic is really juicy, we'll get more people. But just the core people and someone who will never be in chat, and you know who you are. Thank you for being here and being a solid part of this program. I do shout outs for people that are in the chat, but shout out to you guys who just either can't be in the chat, don't wish to be in the chat, or even the people that are on the replay crew that are not here now but will be watching later. Shout out to you guys as well. Thank you for supporting the channel. We have Andy Reno says, welcome to another meeting, FAE family. It's deductible. There you go. I could tell you though, the members only, we try so hard not to make it so that you got to be a member to get certain content, but they do get like a little leg up to get the information maybe a day early if like there's a video that comes out. So trying to grow that, because I do think we had one of the largest groups of people in the members only live on Wednesday. We had about 20, which is excellent for a members only live. And we did have a volunteer, and we had good information to try to help that seller show their store, and we critiqued her store, and I think there's a lot of good stuff that she was able to take away and apply to try to make more sales, and that's kind of why we do this. Dave Harrington says, important update, Silicon Shadows. AI is the demon that the sellers foretold. I mean, AI is going to help a lot of people in life, just in general. I'm telling you guys, I mean, put eBay aside for a second. AI has a lot of good intentions, but with good intentions, there's some bad things that can come out of it, and that's the kind of thing that concerns me. Right now, we have these AI listers and stuff on eBay, but what happens when someone develops? Because you can go on and have, if you want to spend the time, and Bearded Picker, he actually had his live on Wednesday and had a couple of guys on there that were talking about how you can go on and build your own little background program for your computer, utilizing just the power of AI to do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be reseller related. It can be like any mundane task that you have to deal with on your computer. It can handle for you if you want it to. Like even like sourcing and all that. That interests me. But it's so easy. You can have Grok explain it to you like you're 5 years old, and tell you step by step, what do I need to do to make this task happen for me automatically without costing, a whole lot of money, maybe 20, 25 bucks a month. But if you're saving yourself money, and you don't have to go out and subscribe to these AI third-party programs. You don't have to conform to eBay's AI, where you have to know what the item is before it starts sharing item specifics. That blows my mind. If you watch that video I put out this last week, where I did a review on the AI lister, and AI from eBay is really suspect, guys. I know that they have their own in-house AI, but anytime you're providing photos, so I provided 8 photos of hats. I did 2 different hats, 8 photos each, and it provided me next to no item specifics from those photos. It wasn't until I went in and saw what eBay did at their demonstration at eBay Open to realize, oh, you have to actually put the title in. So if you have a pile of stuff you picked up at a yard sale and been like, I really bought this because I thought it might be worth something, but I really don't have a whole lot of an idea of what I have. Well, that's going to be a problem if you don't know what to call it, right? You don't know what you're looking at. And I think anytime that you provide data, like a photo, to an AI program, and it can't do the basics, like put a title for you. And I'm not talking about a 30, 40 character title. I'm talking fully optimized, because eBay wants that. According to the file that I got from eBay, that rep, that's one thing they monitor. My account is at 70. I average 77 characters out of 80. They're watching that. They're keeping track of that, and there's something to that. Now, of course, they may not tell you, but if it wasn't something that was important, they wouldn't have a metric to track that. So that's going to be one of the things I'm going to cover on this video here coming up. But the video I did do will show you how AI is just not yet there. I think a lot of us are so hopeful that AI is going to be the thing that allows us to do more and to do better with our business. But I really think AI is still a few months away from being where you really, really want it to be. I just think that some of these programs are very, very ambitious, but you have to make changes to your process. And anytime you have to change your process to make a program work, then it ain't ready yet, as far as I'm concerned. So that's my stance on that. Big Dre says, hello, John, just picking and packing right now. Well, hey, that means that you're making sales. So that's awesome. Roman says, hello, everyone. Dave told me that if I don't show up, he will not give me his bong. He ain't giving you his bong. He might give you another one. Speaking of giveaways, I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to thank a viewer. I'm not going to tell you her name. Starts with an N. NW. Just say NW. Thank you so much. She reached out to me and sent me a set of pins from eBay Open. And what I want to do, and you know what, I screwed up in that. Normally, when I'm doing a giveaway, I'll jump into StreamYard because they have a tool that allows you to instantly just pick a name from chat. But I want to do a giveaway today. And what I want to do is, it isn't really anything that special, but I think it's kind of cool. Got these pins. It's a complete set. Complete set. No card, so I don't have a card to give you. but it's still the complete set. There's 10 pins in this set. She really did a great job in packing this in a little collective box. I picked this up from eBay Open. I have not used it. These are like $30, $40, but it's made by Hydra Peak, and I really like this. It's from eBay, right? I thought, oh, I'm going to get this for myself. It's made by Hydra Peak and eBay, and it says things people love, right? Has one of those pop caps where you can drink away. Haven't used it, and I thought, you know what? It isn't the type I like. I like my little... If you ask Archie, go to Archie Biscuit Butts TikTok. He'll show you how to use these things. Has the straw where you can just suck, but he shows you exactly his form and how he does it. So, also, they gave this away at eBay Open. It's a smaller bottle. This one, you can use Archie's method. And a bag from, this is not just any bag. This is a bag from eBay Refurbished team. And it says eBay and all that. It's a cool little bag. The standard bag that they gave you with, when you bought something, I got something on my arm. Whoa, sticker. And of course, I'll give you some stickers. Some Flippin' Ain't Easy stickers and merch. So, one lucky winner, and here's the eBay stickers and merch, or from eBay Flippin' Ain't Easy. Looks upside down. So that's what you're going to get. So we're going to do that a little later in the show, so hang on in there. So the winner's going to get both bottles, the sticker set, and both bags. And we're just going to be like a grand prize. There you go. Because for me, whenever I get swag at eBay Open, I like to give it away to you guys. Really like to share that with you. I mean, we have like that eBay hat. That's all I need. Also, I'm kind of in the giving mood because a shout out to Tom from Liquidation Motivation. So go check out Tom's channel. He's based out in Lakeland, Florida, over where Kevin Hawthorne is. But he is probably the guru of liquidation that's out there. I'll just tell you that right now. He started up his own liquidation group on Facebook. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but he helps people set up bin stores, buy pallets, and to really get you educated on, the reselling business from the liquidation perspective. And a couple weeks ago, I think it was right before ASD, he had a video and he's like, yeah, just, comment. And I really was commenting, asking him about, because I wanted to meet up with him at ASD. And he picked the 17th comment, which was mine, and I won a pair of Apple AirPods. So I was actually looking at buying a set of AirPods from when I go bowling, have one in my ear or whatever, or when I go out and about. And I almost bought a pair like a month ago, and I'm like, no, I'll just wait. I guess that's why I waited, because I have one coming to me. So you know what? You win something, you give back something to other people. And we just actually had a winner. We did a giveaway for another pin set on the members only. I believe it was Tommy that won that. So Tommy S, I think, is what he goes by. And we mailed that out. And something that we're gonna do when we can. Just try to do giveaways on the channel as a thank you to the reselling community. That's kind of what this whole live stream is for. I'd like to think that, yeah, we do give you guys some morsels of information on the live, but for me, it's more about community. And it really, without going too deep into the weeds, because I might talk about this weekend when I go out there and do all my little videos out in the garage. What you see with community, there's people out there that make videos that will make you feel like they're part of, and they really are about community. But if that community doesn't have dollar bills involved, that's their number one motivation. So it pains me to say that, but you know what? You see it happening so much. There's so much drama right now that's going on behind the scenes, not involving me, but I'm just saying that I see, and I don't like it. It's not good for the community at all. But hey, it is what it is. And Dante kind of put out his perspective as Prison to Profit last week, put out his video to say how he feels on it. And who's to say he's wrong, right? Because everyone has their own personal dealings, whether you're just a person that watches these channels to someone who tries to make content and is trying to do community stuff outside of the camera. That's where it gets tough, when you're trying to make friends with some of these creators and they ain't all that interested in your friendship. They're just wanting to build a channel and make money off of it. And when you realize that, it's kind of sad. Joe Samard says, howdy, John, and all the FAE peeps. Nice to see you, Joe. Flippin' Good says, happy Friday. Nice to see you. What's everyone up to this weekend, by the way? I'm curious what you guys are going to do. One thing I came across, and might as well just share it now, and that is, if I can get to it on this other screen here real fast. I guess you can call it a little nugget of information. It is something that I maybe didn't know, maybe I should have known, but you guys know my pain point with this location, Puerto Rico. So this particular seller on the eBay boards posted, just got this message from eBay telling me that they were excited to announce the expansion of eBay international shipping to Puerto Rico. And their take was way off base, but nonetheless, says this proves that eBay has no idea what they're doing. Puerto Rico is a United States territory, and such the USPS treats it just as another state in America. There is no surcharge to Puerto Rico, nor is it international shipping. Good grief. Well, I didn't see this announcement, but if that announcement's true, I may just switch over my main account to having eBay International Shipping Program. Now, this person's way off because they're right in that you can ship Ground Advantage, no problem, to all the protectorates, Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii. But if you deal with larger stuff, and you use like ground, like UPS Ground or FedEx Ground, they won't ship to Alaska, Hawaii, or Puerto Rico. And for me, that's been a big problem. So lately, my problem's been Puerto Rico, the slow shipping. Almost every other shipment to Puerto Rico has been a delay, complaint, and or it's like maybe because there's a language barrier, people misunderstand what they're buying, and here comes a return. So for me, I think this is making the eBay International Shipping Program, I think, something that I want to actually do. And I think we're going to give it a try. If it hurts my sales tremendously, I will change back like I did 2 years ago. But as this particular person replied to the original poster, that's not the point. Some sellers don't want to ship to Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii because they only ship with UPS, FedEx, or a perceived high cost long delivery. eBay is opening the EIS package forwarding to these locations exactly for these reasons, and it will still carry the same EIS benefits that you will not be responsible for returns. So if they want to open a return because they misunderstood, sorry, the eBay's got it covered. If it's other reasons, then it's on between them and eBay at that point. Refunds, negative feedback, or payment disputes, eBay will handle it all for the seller at no cost to the seller. So it doesn't cost you anything as a seller, and all you got to do is two things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my business policies, my shipping on those business policies, and I'm going to make them to where there's no international attached to those shipping policies, and I'm going to opt in and see what happens, and that hopefully will be just fine. Dave Harrington says, wait, what? Did someone say bong? Okay, twist my arm. I'm sure no one has to twist your arm. Do you have Jimmy Crack Corn? Says hard. I don't know. I don't know why you'd say that, but let's move on. Henri Squall says, got my cha-ching already, a sheet music. There you go. Anything you're selling. And I think the one person that and I'm not going to say her name, but the one person that we did review their store on the members only actually was selling a lot of vintage sheet music, and we're trying to maybe figure out a good way for her to sell that. Samantha Hunter says, good evening all. Hi, John. Did Jenna travel well? Yeah, she's there, and she's just busy. She's like, if I have time to jump in on the live, I'll be in the chat, because her niece has a volleyball game for, I believe it's middle school, I think high school, and they're going to that high school to the game. So, let's see. Big Dre says, I found a pair of $500 boots I thought were stolen in the wrong tote. I wonder if I'll find the last pair that's missing worth $250. Yeah, that's an awesome feeling when you find something that you thought was stolen. I remember one time, this is about like 10 years ago when I was at work, I had like $300 in my pocket. And I don't know what happened to it. Sometime after lunch to the time I got home, that money was gone. It wasn't in my pocket anymore. And yeah, I never found it. So someone got hooked up, but in your case, you got hooked up. So that's awesome. Get that thing listed. Roman says, I'm in Cleveland. It's so cold here that Todd's desk in Texas even freezes up when I'm on his live. Biff is with us. Nice to see you, Biff. My 30-day is up 20%. August will be 50% over August 2024. The key is to work in categories that nobody has a YouTube channel about. Yeah, that could get people to go, ooh, I didn't know you can make money in farts in a jar or whatever, right? So, yeah, I don't know how you'd start that business. Don't ask me. I'm not the one to put that out there. The Crazy Life says, hi all, nice to see you. The Crazy's Life along with Christopher Nutter. Nice to see you guys. And of course we got Spam and more than likely Primo. The Crazy Card, nice to see you, the Crazy Card. And Eric Papa Flips says, sup resellers, nice to see you. Biff says, John, do you plan on emptying your storage shed during Q4 or will you keep it as a long-term space? Good question. I think about that all the time. And I almost wonder if it's an unnecessary expense because I do go and pull from it every so often, like on off weeks where I'm not getting enough inventory. But I have it mainly because I wanted to accumulate and fill that thing up throughout the year. So here comes Q4. I have no excuses. Now, the stuff in there ain't the greatest. It came from a couple, 3 or 4 lots that I purchased early in the year. They're all liquidations. So, I mean, about half of them are good to list as it is, and some would have to be parted out. I'm just going to evaluate it. And I realize that I have some free space here. Maybe after Q4. I'm going to get it all listed in Q4. That's the goal. Get it all listed and then kind of reevaluate. Did my numbers support me spending $225 a month over 12 months? That's about $3,000. I don't know. We'll see. Did I make enough in Q4 to offset that $3,000? We will have the answer to that question come November, December. Because I think sometimes when you're dealing with investments in your business like that, you need to give it time. You need to evaluate. Has it been a good thing for my business? There's been times that I'll buy a lot of, I have currently I haven't been able to sell a single one. I'm surprised. But there's these dog ramps. I have 18 of them. It gives me an opportunity to buy lots like that I couldn't just keep here. But of course I haven't sold any of them either. My price point. I think what's happening on that, there's a certain market that supports calculated shipping, and there's a certain kind of item that maybe people will look down upon you having calculated shipping, no matter how low you have the price. It's one of those things where I have the dog ramp at $29.99, right? When my competitor, and it's plus shipping, so it's a 15-pound box that must be 32 by 10 by 6. And that $29 item plus a $35 label. The label's more than the item itself, even though it's cheaper than someone selling it for $79.99 free shipping. That may be something that I just do. I just try to emulate. I think when you have an item that's not selling, it's time to do everything you can. I'm only into those items for $3.25 each. So I just need to get in there and be a little bit more aggressive. I've had them for a few months now. And especially if I decide, hey, this storage unit probably isn't going to work the way I thought it was going to work, I'm going to need to really get aggressive with the things that are in there. But good question. We'll have an answer to that here later on in Q4. Let's see. So that's John. Let's Just let the minutes guide us through the talk. Just meeting up with you at 6 p.m. is grand. Well, that's awesome to hear. Well, thank you for being here. And that's kind of what I thought. It's going to be one of those things where we just get together as a community and just hang out and see what the questions where they take us. So thank you so much for being here. And we have a solid number of people, 128 people, really, for not having a whole lot of content to give you guys. So thank you all for being here. And, considering also this holiday weekend, I mean, a lot of people get a jump and like, look, they're done with their work. For some of you, it's in the evening, and some of you are just getting a jump on this weekend, and eBay is the last thing some people want to think about. So Big Dre says, my brother-in-law is fixing my gaming computer. I'm thinking of asking him if he would be willing to go in on a computer niche store, source it, and handle the eBay side. He'll inspect and repair. I would say anytime you're looking at going into a niche, check to see, of course, you're going to find a source or two. That's essential. But see how it is for others. See what's selling, what's not, versus what you're able to get. Is it going to be worth your while? Especially if you have to split the money with somebody. So that's always been a problem in my mind. It's something I don't think I'd ever want to do, is go into a business like that with somebody, and then splitting the profits, because for some items, I mean, you're gonna have to pull double work to make what you would be making if you were on your own. But it's something everyone has to consider doing. It's almost like having employees, right? CJ Benz finds his Friday work is done. Time for a drink. There you go. Bachelor Brad says Depop is AI blows eBay's away. It probably does. I mean, that's not saying a whole lot. I can develop my own AI lister without having any programmers. I've been sitting on it. I really haven't taken the time, but Beard's talk on Wednesday on his live intrigued me enough to say, you know what? It's time to get back into that project and see if I can make my own little virtual VA here that's going to take care of some of the mundane things. Now, I don't really need it to handle my messages anymore like I was thinking, because eBay came out and said, hey, we have this. But maybe my sourcing, that's really intriguing, because it'll save me about an hour and a half every day, because I spend that long sourcing every day that it'll just hit a button, source for me. It'll even bid for me. And luckily, one of the places that I go to out here allows me to change my mind after I've won, which is really, really rare. Let's see. Peddling Profit says, good evening, folks. Hope you all have a great Labor Day weekend. If traveling, stay safe. Yes, make sure you're staying safe out there this weekend. There'll be a lot of people out on the road, depending on how what part of the world you're going to. I think Vegas is probably going to have its busiest weekend, the last busy weekend of the year before it kind of just shuts down a little bit. I saw, let's see, a lot of side talk. So Reseller Life, Archie was doing his district show. He was doing good. Yeah, I know he was doing his district show. He had a couple shows to do today, and he's found something within the reselling world that's worked for him. He's not been the one that's like, look, I'll go out, get all this stuff at a yard sale, and I'll spend a day or two listing it all. That's one thing that's kind of put him off. But he's found like online selling, and that's really worked for him. And if you're struggling with selling and listing items, and staying behind a computer and getting all your stuff listed, that is one option, is to find maybe a reliable source and just get enough stuff to keep enough of the same stuff to keep the same audience or viewers coming back to your live shows, and you'll build it up in no time like he has. Let's see here. Dave Harrington says, Spam Banshee, you and Primo should hang out with them tonight at Bearded Picker Channel. I don't know if I'm going to or not, because I need to run to the store. I need to get some stuff done for tomorrow, because if I'm focusing on football, I ain't going to be listing. So I need to get some listings done in my draft that I can launch tomorrow. So maybe not for me tonight. But yeah, it's Primo and Spam should go and jump on. Landshark Picker says, what's up? Nice to see you, Craig. And Renee F says, it's 3. I feel like I'm forgetting something. You're forgetting the cold drink and the popcorn. Just sit back and relax. Grams and Pops Vintage. Grams, hey, John, hopefully you are having a great week. Well, Grams, nice to see you. Where's Corey at? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Costco is scary today, says Renee. Bet they were pretty busy. David says, hi, John and chat. David Pentland from Scotland says, sales are really good now, but eBay's still dire. Vinted is taking up the slack. No carriers are currently delivering businesses or packages to the USA because of the tariffs. That will, and Josh has been really hammering this point home, that for those of you in the US, you represent, that sell on eBay, you represent, there's what, 31% is what I saw of all sellers in the USA on ebay.com are in the USA. I still think that number is too low, but Josh said it was the number, 28%. I found another source that said 31%. So if you have 60%, let's just say you have 50% of people who cannot sell because Josh shut his store down because of that. He can't ship his packages. So if you have a group of people that represent the majority of sellers that just are not able to get their packages to the U.S., that benefits everyone else. So maybe that's the boon that we need, right? We have Juice, James, Juice the PA Picker, new member. Nice to see you, my man, and glad that you're here with us. Glad you're part of the community. And I'm wondering, I have a question for you. Glad you're here with us. Did you check out that file at eBay Open? It's the one I'm going to do a video on, where it's the eBay rep. I don't know if they emailed you your file. Did you get a chance to check that out for your accounts? And if you did, what did you think about it? Big Dre says, I paid $1,600 total for 2 gaming laptops worth $2,000 each for myself. So if I continue sourcing computers, I'm sure I'll come across more deals and ensure that they work before listing. You know, I was able to, back in 2019, pick up a couple MSI gaming laptops that were in a pallet of electronics that I bought. And this is from a place that I thought they were gold when I first started. They included not only what was on the manifest, they included extra stuff. Like, they threw extra stuff in the pallet. So I ended up getting 2 gaming laptops that weren't on the manifest. I got another brand new HP laptop that wasn't on the manifest that I ended up giving to my daughter back in 2019 because she was trying to start her eBay business. They had a couple other things that were on there, and it's like, wow. So we still have that MSI gaming laptop in the shipping room. That's what we currently have for our shipping computer. So yeah, definitely. And to me, anything that's like a gaming laptop is going to outlast most regular laptops. They make for very, very good work computers. Flipping from the trailer says, good evening, John and chat. Nice to see you flipping from the trailer. We have David says, USA government wants sellers to pay tariffs, but no one knows how to do that. I'm not the guy to ask on that. I just know that, you know, we wake up one morning and there's a new policy about, you know, tariffs and all that, and I just sit back and watch it all unfold. Renee says, if you can find product at a good margin, you're going to be real busy. Q4, I sell beauty fragrance. That's awesome. So does Mike Metco. Him and Archie, they sell beauty fragrance, and that's an insider. You got to go check out the Biscuit Butt TikTok channel to see Mike's cameo on helping Archie sell some men's. I hope it's men's cologne, but yeah, that was pretty funny. Keith says, behind the scenes real life warehouse workshop vlog, show my daily grind, testing products, sorting donations, prepping eBay listings. I'll give it a look. Thanks for letting us know that. Again, I don't have the link here, but if you're in the chat with us, go in like the first few minutes of the chat, and there should be a link to that channel. But it's under his name, I believe, Pitco, Prosser's Independent Trading Company, and a big support of the channel. So go and check him out and support him. David says, Big Dre, I paid 28 pounds for an HP i7, 16 gig touchscreen, one of the best lost luggage buys. There you go. You lose on the winner says, definitely more competition and less buyers. Been a slower start to Q4 this year compared to my prior years. I'm guessing not going to be good. And I'm seeing a lot of people showing up where I go to pick up my merchandise. It's like a logjam of cars right now just to get a parking spot, to get in, to get your stuff. It's just crazy. And it's makes me feel validated about the storage unit and all the other stuff that I have in there. But it's one of those things where I really don't want to. I really don't want to dip into that, if that makes sense. So yeah, I got to get that stuff listed. Otherwise, it's going to be, I might as well open up a museum. But my hope was plan A is the good stuff that I get every week. And if that's going to be harder to get, then, I guess that's plan B is there. At least I have a plan B. The last couple of years, I haven't had that. And I felt like I started to force buying things that didn't have very good sell-through, and it was hurting my numbers. Flipping from the trailer, just left Archie's live. Okay. Samantha's talking to Duncan. Okay, so Todd says, yes, Roman, 140 kids is on the low side. We have Ginger Mill. Nice for seeing you. Waiting for my cha-ching. Hit that like button, guys, and get your sale. A lot of people just come in and hit the like button and leave. Not that we want you guys to leave. We want you to hang out. But they come in here just to hit the like button so they can get their sale. I think it's awesome. Art by Act says, I'm always here in the lives, usually shipping at this time, rarely chat. And I get that. I understand it. Some have the time. Look, I would not be the one to say, hey, guys, it sucks that you can't come in and hang out. You're not a real fan of the channel. I'm not going to say any of that. Because it's like, look, I feel bad that I can't get to more channels. I mean, I feel bad that I haven't checked out Keith's channel yet. I want to be supportive of everyone's channel, but I can't do it at the expense of my eBay business. And I've always said this, for this channel, it's always about eBay first, and then we worry about YouTube stuff, and I think everyone's got to do that. So and I feel honored if you're playing this while you're working, and that's the best you can do. I'm honored by that. So thanks for being here in any way you can. Or if you're like, look, I just play it while I'm working late at night, I can't be here for the lives. Thank you for doing that as well. It's certainly appreciated. David says, love the live the other day. I probably learned a lot. And we try to teach, and we try to understand it together, right? It's not like I'm going into some of this content going, hey, I've got it all figured out. It's like, look here, guys. This is what I came across. Help me understand what this means. And you guys do a heck of a job in doing that. You got Mike, Dixie Flipper. Hi, John. Where's your other half? She's visiting her family. She's, it's like her time to get away. She's here in the house. She makes it a point. I don't know why, but she doesn't really have friends locally. When you're in the house all day long, and you're shipping like 5 days out of the week, doing all the shipping, it's like you have really not a whole lot to look forward to. It's like my thing was, look, why don't you call the airline, in a couple weeks, go to see your sisters, and just spend whatever amount of time you want. So that's what she's doing right now. Biff says, did eBay say when the feedback rollout goes into effect? Yes, it goes into effect. The feedback rollout. So for those of you guys missed it, what Biff is asking about is the change in feedback. Well, there's a negative change in feedback. So starting on the 3rd of September, if a buyer leaves a negative feedback for you, that you end up giving them a full refund because you have free returns, free 30-day returns, they're not going to necessarily remove it. Now, they may remove it depending on what the buyer says. Also, if you have adjusted someone's refund because they didn't return everything, it's not in the same condition, which is a justifiable use of the refund tool, eBay's not going to use that as a basis to automatically remove the negative if you get a negative from that transaction. So those are definitely things of concern that concern me, because look, it's again that transparency thing. Here we are at eBay Open. There's no way you can convince me that 2 weeks after eBay Open, eBay just comes up with that. I'm sure that they knew they were going to implement that, but they didn't want to sour anyone at eBay Open because of those things. So, you know, I'm very disappointed about that they weren't up forth and forthright with that. So 3rd of September, Wednesday, is when that takes effect. Reseller Life says, Todd told me that if I would have married Taylor Swift, I would not have to work ever again. That's funny. I wonder if there's anyone that's rich, right? They get married to someone who doesn't have money. If they make them like, you know, you ain't here for the free ride, buddy. You're working for me. You may not work for someone else, but you're working for me. Put that person to work. Jane's Jungle Safari is a new member of the channel. Awesome. Thank you for being a member of the channel. And that way, you know, you can go in and check out all the content too. So thank you for being a member. Jovial, there's Jovial, says, the hurrier I go, the behinder I get, and my behind is behind, so I better hurry just to get behind. Hey, FA fam, happy holiday weekend. So thank you for being here, Jovial. What is today? Is it today anything special, like national, like get off your butt day and get those things listed day? Lala Shopper says, QQQ. Nice to see you, Lala Shopper. I'm sure you mean shopper, right? Art by Axe says, AI is less than human contact. Instead of asking people advice or how-tos, I ask ChatGPT. And a lot of times, I'll do the same thing. I'll go to Grok, in this case, same thing, ChatGPT, and I'll say, look, give me an answer on this. What do you think about this? And I'm hopeful that it's not giving me an answer that it has like built in. I want it to go out and find the answer for me so that I don't have to. And I'd say 75 to 80% of the time, it's correct. It's correct. The other 20%, it's like, no, it's BS. That's why you always got to double check the work that AI does for you. Look, I don't care how good the program is. If it interfaces with ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, they're all pretty much the same. Some are a little bit better at photo recognition than others. It's still going to fudge information because it wants to please the end user. Okay, it's going to fudge information. It's going to get it wrong. It's going to assume it's this when it's really that. And that does one thing. It leads to more INADs, and we don't like the INADs. There's Jenna, just stopping by to say hello, and I hope everyone's sales are abundant. Yes, honey, hope you're doing great and having a good time. And look, don't worry about the things that are going on with the sales. It'll all be here for you when you get back. Just focus your time and energy on the family and all the fun things you guys want to do. Without going crazy spending money, because that's the caveat. You know, it's like, we're not rich here, by the way. David Pentland says, Ashton feedback is live in UK. I get feedback on every sale. Or you mean like auto feedback? So that's the other thing with feedback. It's the auto feedback where you get a sale and your buyer just, look, I don't care about playing the eBay social media game of leaving feedback for this purchase. And a lot of people don't. They get what they got. They even though eBay will harass them to leave feedback, they're like, I don't have time for this. Their lives are busy. They got what they wanted when they bought on eBay, and they don't want to leave a... There's some people like myself, I'll leave feedback, but like when you're dealing with like a survey, how many people will take time to fill out a survey? It's like, look, I don't got time for this. I got what I paid for. I'm happy. I'm moving on. Well, eBay is going to give you assume that's a positive transaction and give you a positive for that. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know what the verbiage is going to say within the transaction. Maybe just some generic thing that said, you know, overall good transaction or whatever. And ultimately, that's going to build up the number of positives, because I'd say it's what, 50-50 people leave feedback versus not, or I think it's even more where people don't. So all those feedbacks are going to be left for you. Now, from what I understand, a buyer can go in and say, well, yeah, it does show I left a positive, but that's not how I really feel. They can go in there and override it within that 60-day window. So you're not out of the blue if you know, that buyer decides to, you know, they buy the item, you get an auto feedback once it's delivered, and then, you know, here they come, you know, 3 weeks later changing that. Don't get upset, because the buyer, I believe, still can do that. Dave says he has 3 cha-chings since the show started. There you go. I'm just telling you it works. It even works for Dave and what Dave's selling. So, it can work for anyone. Hit that like button, guys. Biff says, someone reached out to make a deal on 11-piece combined order, so I'll count that as a sale. That is a sale. It's a really good sale. Samantha says, I hope your trip, Jenna, is all that you hope. Jenna, yeah, she's really finds it hard to believe that there's people like really enjoy having her on the show. She's like, I don't need to be on the show. No one cares. I'm like, there's people that tune in for you. I don't think she still understands that. Todd says, Jovial, my behind is behinder than you're behind. I have stuff I need to do from the 80s. I think that ship sailed, my friend. I think there's some things you might not be able to do anymore from the 80s. I'm just saying. Let's see. Try to get through. La Shopper says, okay, pardon me, question. Been getting bad Apple buyers within the last 2 weeks. Yeah, you're going to get, it just comes in spurts. You're going to get good, mostly good buyers. So you're going to get the bad Apple that comes and tries to scam you. You know, we had that Puerto Rican buyer that we talked about that bought the I think it was the alternator. No, it was a I believe it was a compressor for their AC unit for their car, and they said it was bad, was making noises, and that they had to pay for 2 full tanks of gas, something else. I couldn't understand what they were asking for, but they also said the technician twice, the person that installed it, and they wanted their money back. I'm like, you don't get your money back unless you send it back. Now, if you're saying that you had to have a technician come in and replace the part you bought from me, then you have the part. It's not in your car. You should send it back to me. That was a total scam. And by the way, when I told him, when I called their bluff and said, and I did report them to eBay, but I also let them know I reported them to eBay, and they will be taking close watch on what happens to this transaction. He said perfect, and I haven't heard from him since. So that is perfect for me. That is exactly what I wanted. I called his bluff, and guess what? He's moving on to someone else. So people are saying, well, why don't you put the name out there? You know, putting the name of the bad buyers out there, it tends to tick people off. And also, I don't want to really violate any eBay TOS or anything like that. So generally, I only will save those moments for when it's really, really warranted. I didn't lose anything on this deal. Look, maybe a little bit of time, but I also learned that sometimes you want these experiences with these buyers because you learn not to get suckered in, because what they're counting on is they want you to feel threatened, and you just make it go away by giving them a refund, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. And when they realize that you're not that mark, they will move on. And so maybe it's just a lesson for everyone out there that let the buyer go through the return process unless you have visual proof that there is a problem and the buyer is 100% warranted. Then that's exactly how to handle that. Just make them go through the refund process. Keith says, here's a thought. Every return, every mistake, every low sale, it's not a loss. It's tuition for being a sharper reseller. You learn from it. I couldn't imagine going through, and here's a buyer message that I'm not going to spend time answering because I don't know what they want, but I'm on the live. Okay. So a guy bought an item from me and then said, hey, the CD, the USB drive that has the drivers on it wasn't working. Okay. Do you have another one of that model? No, I have other models, and I gave him an option to, we could do an exchange or a return. And he's like, we'll take the refund. So that's where we're at on that. Let's see. Todd says, Jovial must be reincarnated. I even have projects left from a previous life. We have Carol C in the house. Nice to see you, Carol. Dave says, yes, John's got all the swag, and someone else is going to have all the swag here pretty soon. The goal here is to try to catch up with chat a little bit. Boom, here we go, $127 offer. I got this thing called a level lock, and it's just a lock set that works with your phone. And I had it for $149.99. I'm getting $127. I don't know why they said $127. but I'll take it. There you go. So you guys are lucky for me. I'll tell you that right now. Todd says, Jenna, this show sucks without you here. I mean, I have no one to like piss off. I mean, I can't say anything that's gonna rub her the wrong way because she ain't here. There's no one here to give me the side eye. Anissa, Junk Trader. Hi, friends. Hope everyone is well. And there's that beautiful sound of a cha-ching. Biff says, ASP is something a seller should care about, but I doubt eBay cares about it at all. They are not storing our shipping items. They do not care about conversion. They do care about conversion rate. But one thing you have to know, and Biff, just look for the video. I'm not going to go through it right now because there's so much content on that file. But it's showing, like, one of the top things it shows is my ASP. Now, I don't know what time frame. My thought is it's the last 90 days. It could be the last 30 days. This file is, but it's one of the things that is highlighted on that report is your ASP. G Gazzara says, hey John, nice to see you. G Gazzara. Junk Trader says, don't think it sucks. Talk about the show, but I do miss her pretty face. Well, that makes two of us. I do miss my wife, but look, she puts up with me. Okay, there's things that I do that you guys see. I mean, I'm not different off the camera. I can be a cheapskate at times. I can be, I don't know. I don't think I'm grouchy. I have fun, you know. I make light of things. You know, I sing songs wrong. I do things that can get on people's nerves. So sometimes you need a break from me, and that's what she's doing. She's taking a break. I'm sure it's not from everything else. I think she's just taking a break from me. S. Latina says, Jenna, I'm sure John misses you. Nice to see you in the chat. Yes. Flipping from the trailer says, how can we get one of your stickers, John? Well, you can come by and get one. I can't really send them out to everyone because as much as I'd like to, that would, you know, be kind of time consuming and stuff. I don't know how we'll do that. You know what? If you want to hit me up in the email, flippingainteasy2020@gmail.com, I'll do what I can to get one out to you. I'll just do it that way. But if you're a winner of this merch that we're going to give away here pretty soon, then, and I'll tell you how we're going to select a winner here in a minute, make sure you stick around and be a part of the drawing. That might be the way to do it. Let's see. Reseller Live. Dave, that's what I tell Todd's desk all the time when it leaves on vacation and Todd does lives by himself. Tay says, happy Friday to all. Nice to see you, Tay. Craig Winans has got a bit of stuff at an antique shop liquidation sale yesterday and today. $20 a bag and $30 a file box full, plus $360 worth of postcards and greeting cards at 10 cents each. That's certainly awesome. That's one thing that's intriguing to me. Postcards. If I had, it's one of those niche stores that I would try if I had a dedicated source that made it, you know, if I could get the cards for under 50 cents a piece, and a lot of them, they're so easy to list that it's just a no-brainer. James says, what's going on? They finally fixed my account. Yes, that is awesome. They fixed James' account. Now, James is, him and his wife, I believe Leslie, we met them at eBay Open, and they made it a point to come up and say, hey, I watch your lives, watch PPP, and I was telling him about the question that I just asked an eBay representative for Spam and Primo, and he had a similar situation where they're putting a hold on his account. And I said, well, here's the same information I gave Spam and Primo, and give it a shot. And apparently that worked. They got the hold taken off. So I'm hopeful that Spam and Primo will get their account fixed. And, you know, I don't think I'd let it sit there, because if the reaction was, look, this isn't supposed to happen, you know, account holds just out of the blue, or at least maybe on a certain transaction or two, if it's a suspicious single transaction maybe, but that shouldn't put you in permanent status for that. And if you're getting a different answer than the organic answer I was given, like this isn't supposed to happen, then you need to dive a little bit deeper, I think, and get more people involved. I wouldn't just let it. This is like when I got suspended, and I knew I wasn't in the wrong. I did one thing wrong, but the other 4 things that I didn't do wrong, they had like strikes against me that weren't supposed to be strikes, were being counted against me. I fought that, and I only had a day off before my sales came back. So fight it. Nobody else is going to fight for your account but you. You guys got to understand that. You are just a number to eBay. And, I was saying this before eBay opened. I'm saying it after eBay opened. You are just a number to eBay. If you fall off the reselling map tomorrow, eBay is going to replace you, and they aren't going to care. And they certainly aren't going to check up on you to make sure your account, unless you have an account rep, that's a little bit different. But us normies, we have to deal with the fact that we are our own advocate, and nobody here will advocate for your account but you. And if you're not fighting for your account, then you might meet someone like me that's willing to ask a question for you, but that's all I can do. They ain't never going to dive into your account on my behalf. They're going to be like, look, you can't even confirm this account. Have that person call us. But yeah, be willing. And some people are like, you know what, it's just a defect. I'm not going to worry about it, because people just don't want to deal with these things. But again, I promise you, it hurts you behind the scenes when you have bad account metrics. And you got to be the one willing to fight for it and take the extra step. Call eBay. It sucks, but you got to do it. Mike says, well said, John. Yes, too much drama lately. It's counterproductive. Yes. And how far am I? I'm 40 minutes behind. That's counterproductive, how behind I am. So I'm going to try to get through this. PA Pickers of the weekend. I'm in North Carolina sourcing. He's all over the place, by the way, but he's got it down. I envy what he does. He's making big money selling on eBay. So good on him. And thanks, buddy, for being here. Callie Debs is going to Santa Barbara tomorrow and cleaning out my mom's estate on Sunday and Monday. And you're going to make some money probably with that too. So hopefully you can get some stuff to resell. Life is too short for drama. It is. Andy says, going to a 4-hour floating trip down the river in Indiana Beach Amusement Park. I want to do that. That sounds fun. Biff says, that PR post on the eBay community board is over a year old. Is it? Well, I didn't know. I didn't know Puerto Rico was part of that. Maybe I did, but I didn't remember that it was. So now that I have had these problems with Puerto Rico, it's time to maybe make the jump over to eBay International Shipping and just see how it works, because I don't want to deal with it anymore. Samantha says, what am I doing this weekend is to play Powerball, win that $1 billion. There you go. Don't forget about us when you win. We have to go to the state line to buy Powerball. So what I'm probably going to do is call my son and say, all right, let's just have Jenna buy some Powerball. She's out there in California. Keith says, it's not a holiday for us. It's normal weekend. Our holiday was last weekend. Yeah, you guys don't have Labor Day like we have Labor Day. Joe Samard's going to the post office, but no, not going to the post office, so good for that. And Jane, I said your name, there he goes. Jane was on the live, on the Members Only Live, and she showed us her store, and I just hope that it was beneficial and she found some things that she can change. Samantha says, I think this weekend I'm going to find some different sourcing places. I need a new focus on items to get more money. There you go. If what you're doing is not working, continuing to do the same thing over and over again is just going to yield you similar results. So make sure you're getting some changes in. Wes McCarty, what's the most number of orders you've shipped in a single day than holidays? For me, look, my numbers aren't going to blow you away, because like I just sold 2 items that with shipping it's like $300 total. But I think like 20 items in a day is probably the most on the main account that I've seen. Because once we hit like 8 to 10, we're already at the $1,000 mark on a lot of the items that we sell. But holiday weekends can get pretty nasty. You know, I count Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. It's a 4-day weekend as far as I count Friday as part of that. And we can have 40 items going out, on a decent holiday weekend. So that's something Jenna's not going to have to deal with. It's something I'm going to have to deal with on Monday. And he says, one time I pulled my phone out of my pocket in Walmart to scan something and dropped a $100 bill out of my pocket. It's deductible until you have to prove that it was a deduction. So hopefully you guys don't have to. Beard says, what up, John? I see you, buddy. Didn't skip you this time. And I might have to do a little skip in here pretty soon, because I want to make sure we not only get to this giveaway, but want to get you guys to Beard's program here at the top of the hour. Bearded Picker, he does his weekly live Friday nights, and I want to make sure you guys can get over there and not miss anything. When in doubt, part it out. Yes, that's for sure. Tay says, I did not know eBay had AI. Where do I find it? If you want to call it AI, so you would go to where it says sell an item, which is the top of like Seller Hub. And I don't usually list this way. I usually piggyback off of another lister, not using AI. But you can go sell an item, and then you can click on the option to use photos, and then you just upload the same number of photos for every item you're trying to list. But it won't pick anything up on those photos until you start using an actual title, which defeats the purpose of the whole AI thing. And then if you're building a listing, just like the rest of us do, and you don't want to put an item description, you can use eBay's magical AI word generator. It's not AI at all as far as I'm concerned. So they got a lot of work to do, and to call it AI is a bit disingenuous. But you can watch the video that I put out here early in the week. It's the last video I put out, and it'll show you more about what I think, my review on eBay's AI. And it'll tell you how to do it. Let's see. Lindsay S says, hey, life's been crazy since we got back from Vegas, but I'll let Juice tell you about it. So Lindsay and James, you guys are awesome. So, you guys are out and about doing the work. So the unsung heroes of reselling are the ones that never get in front of a camera. They just, get up every morning. They know what they got to do. They get their grind on, and they pay their bills, right? And it's a rinse, lather, repeat. Or lather, rinse, repeat, and that's just the way they roll. And nobody understands that. Some people are like, I was talking to some former coworkers, and I was telling them like, yeah, I'm making more than I made as a department head at Amtrak, and they're like, really? Yeah, really. Pickle says, John, do you split the profits with Jenna? No, I split the chips and salsa with Jenna. See, we don't just build up her bank account. I mean, if she needs something, she knows it's there, right? Sure to get through. Biff says, there is no way I'd allow AI to make bids for me because my sources are definitely no returns. Yeah, it's something that I can do. Let's see if it'll work. I don't know if they have a way to block out AI. Maybe they detect it. They won't allow it. I don't know. Brandon says, hi, I shipped off the wrong item to a buyer today and immediately realized it, but only after it had left the post office. I ordered an intercept and contacted eBay. This ever happened to you? It has happened before, not for a long time. And the number one thing that you can do is communicate. Communicate to your buyer. So look, I messed up big time. And get out in front of it. Let them know that sent you the wrong thing. If you still have that thing, send it to them. Say, look, you may receive a package that isn't that you ordered. That isn't what you should have got. If you can just do a return to sender, I'd appreciate that. But know that the item is on its way. It may be a day or two behind it. So it's having that conversation. I think a lot of times, okay, let me just say this. We can, as sellers, build up capital with our buyers just through our conversation. You guys know I bought my Hexclad pants. I don't know, Biff, you're out there. I don't know what you think about Hexclad. I think they look sharp as hell. I have my my stainless steel set. Don't like the way they cook. I got some TreeCat ones, and these, I just got the pans. It's like a 7-piece set. Picked it up for, it's open box. They said it was in pristine condition, great condition, $339 shipped, right? Use my $300 eBay gift card. Perfect use of the eBay gift card. As soon as I placed the order, I got this is at midnight. Got a message from the buyer or the seller saying, thank you so much for your purchase. We'll mail this out on the next business day. I'm like, that's outstanding. That's what I advocate for. The next day, got a message, full blown, like 2-3 paragraphs with a tracking number, thanking me. I'm like, this is great. I don't have to guess. The seller's on top of it. They're being proactive. It got here on time, but it was in the factory box, one piece of tape holding the lid of the box on there. and it was box was coming apart, and I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good. So of course there's the internal packaging on the inside protecting the pans, and then there's these sleeves that go over the pans to protect the pans. Thankfully, there's no damage. There's glass lids. There's no broken glass or anything, but that could have easily gone sideways, and they did nothing to protect the package. I still left a positive, but I did say that it could have been packed better in my review. You know, I don't like leaving any kind of negativity, but they need to know, they need to do better with their shipping, because that could have gone the wrong way. But of course, a little bit later, the next day, I guess they're sending messages to all their people that leave positive feedback. Thank you so much for the positive. We're gonna, join our newsletter or something. I didn't want to deal with all that, but I thought that saved me from feeling, because the buyers we feel about certain things about the transaction. It really left me from feeling like this was a crappy transaction. It saved, in my eyes, it kind of saved the sale, saved any, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that really doesn't want to leave negative, and really appreciates the fact that at least the seller was attentive. So Brandon says it was a vintage Ozfest t-shirt. Hope I get it back. Well, maybe they don't like Ozzy Osbourne. You never know. Biff says, I wish the tariff issue was a windfall for me, but all my items come from the U.S. and none of them leave the U.S. The advantage won't be measurable for me. Yeah. James says, no, I didn't get to check it out. I'm about to go look it up after the live. There you go. There you go. So cool seeing you in chat, man. So don't be a stranger. Tay says, I don't like to see summer end, so I threw a barbecue the last time, the summer holiday. Yeah, I need to get out there and barbecue too, because barbecue season is right now, and I haven't done a whole lot of it. Craig says, nothing to watch here, so you don't have to worry. Oh Yeah Sales says, hello from Oklahoma. I help run Oh Yeah Sales on eBay. That's OHYASALES on eBay. Selling now outdoor sporting goods. Got your sticker at one of the eBay Open lunches. Well, thank you. That was at eBay Open. We were getting fed, and I was really working it, guys. I was taking a stack, and I'm going around and introducing myself, because I think that's one of the things that I really failed the last time we went to an event, was just not putting myself out there. So nice to see you. Oh Yeah Sales. Don't be a stranger. Thanks for being part of the community. Welcome. Biff says, John, the basic business question for you is, would paying up an extra $3,000 during Q4 still get you the items you want? If yes, storage is a bad decision. If no, then storage is a good decision. But paying up for the items that I want, I never thought of it like that, because I really don't want to pay. There's people that have a business model that allows them to pay 50 to 60% of retail. I've seen it, and then they sell it for 80%, and they accept the 10 to 15% margin. That doesn't work for me. But I understand where you're coming from, because essentially, if I back end all the costs that I'm paying throughout the year for this storage unit, but I think it has other benefits as well. Like, if I just had this garage to work with on the stuff that I buy every day, it would be very, very hard. I'd have to pass up on some stuff that I've sold already. It's not just a Q4 thing. I've sold a lot of things out of that storage unit where I've had to make a trip to the storage unit. So it serves as sort of an extension of my garage. So it's a tough question. I understand where it's coming from, but I guess I'll know the answer. If I have a full storage unit come, mid-November, then yeah, it's probably not a good investment. Cheryl Williams says, isn't eBay going to start giving automatic positive feedback for those buyers that don't leave any feedback? Yes, they are. They are going to do that. I believe it's the 3rd is when that's happening, because that's when they're doing all the other things that they announced, 3rd of September. So that look to start seeing more positive feedbacks because of this automated thing. UTC Towing says, hope you're doing well, and eBay impressed me today, removing a feedback that was so off base. Thanks for all you guys taught us. Look, there's a chance that they may not remove most feedbacks, but it's worth taking the 2 to 3 minutes. Make your case on the tool that they have under help and contact. Just type in negative feedback, and it'll take you to the tool. It'll find the item that you're have your negative feedback on, and make the best case that you can, and try to point to policy to get it removed. None of us should be just being okay with the negative. Even if you feel it might be warranted, still try to get it removed. Biff says, I believe only about 33% of buyers leave feedback. That sounds about right. I just didn't have the number in front of me. But Hero, UTC Towing Hero in hand, we find 1 in 10 only leave feedback. It's a very low number. JK, you both bring something to the show. I love the banter you two have with each other. Yeah, we have fun with each other. And this is the same banter we have whether the camera's on or not. And sometimes I wish, man, if the camera would have been on during this interaction. You lose on the winners. I just got to ask, where did the name Biscuit Butt come from? That came from, I guess, a nickname when he was a kid, when Archie was a kid. Just something we have to deal with now. Keith says, you say we are lucky for you and your like button is lucky for us. We work both ways. Yeah. Well, today you guys are lucky for me because a lot of times I get the R word, the returns. Keith says, don't try it on my like button, though. It probably don't work. That's reserved for John's like button only. Yes. And I'm down to about 30 minutes left in the show, so we're going to have to get through your comments here. Michelle R. is with us. Thanks for being here, Michelle. And Classic Phase. Nice to see you. Hopefully everyone's having a good weekend. When will Tom be back? I don't know if Tom is back or not. I know he was on a cruise last time I checked. Joe says, anyone else been having shady buyers from Hawaii? The item is shipped on the slow boat. They open an item not received after a week. If an item is sent by air, no issues. That's interesting. I guess if you live on an island and have items shipped to you, you know exactly how long shipping takes and how to attempt to get the item for free. Like the Saipan person, I had to refund them their item. So I filed a claim through USPS. So we'll see how that works out. Coppercat says, yes, we need Jenna on the live. Look forward to seeing both of you. Now, Friday's live, we're going to have a special guest. We're going to have, and unless he changes his mind, we're going to have Joe, Profit First Reseller, on the live. So he's going to go over and kind of share what he does. The guy is a machine. So he is certainly someone that gives me motivation. If you ever need motivation in your reselling business, find a channel. It doesn't have to be this one because, I don't always motivate people. Find a channel that you can relate to that motivates you, and just get motivated, because I think that's half the battle. You get motivated, you can do it. You can do it! Jane says, confidence that I'm doing a lot right. Yes. That's awesome. Doing inventory while watching. That's fine. Samantha says, Ping, you brought up something I want to ask. Do you guys offer the buyer 2 choices of shipping? Example, priority ground. Some packages. So what I do is I'm in the lister and I'm on the phone, because it doesn't work when you're on the PC. I'm on the phone and I'm going through and I get to my shipping and I'll put my dimensions in there because I do calculate it. And then if I have it defaulted to like Ground Advantage, it'll give me a range, like from this price to that price. So then I'll go, okay, this is and I'll have a feel for it, right? If it's like a 10 to 20 pound package, it could go kind of either way between Ground Advantage or FedEx Ground. I'll then move the FedEx Ground policy in there, and it'll then say, okay, it's from this price to that price. If I see that I'm getting kind of the same price range for both, I have another business shipping policy that has both in there, and it'll give the buyer a chance to choose which one works best for them. Tay says, I notice people that buy from promotions do leave feedback. They buy from eBay, then they leave feedback. I don't keep track of it that closely, I guess. Here's something I want you guys to do, and I'm getting close to the end of the comments, so let's start trying to give these things away. Again, we're going to do a giveaway, and it's sad. We had 120-something people, and about 20-something people dropped off. We're down to 100, so that just increases your chances. We have this eBay pin set, so I'll go over it real quick with you. We got that eBay pin. These are all from eBay Open, 30-year pin. You can see that. Okay. Here's an eBay Live pin. And Spam and Primo, you guys should be getting yours here pretty soon. And Tommy S should be getting his soon. eBay Community. Here's one from the closing ceremonies, open 25. I don't know what department that's from. Here's one from eBay advertising. We pay our fees, our eBay promoted listing fees, eBay advertising. This is a check mark. Okay. And I don't know what this represents, but that's another department. I think that's refurbished. And then guest customer satisfaction. So that's the entire set from eBay Open. Thank you to NW. That's her name. She was kind enough to donate these to the cause. And then we have a bag. It's eBay branded. You don't see it here, but it's from the refurbished department at eBay. We have a brand new eBay Hydro Peak tumbler that I picked up there. You got another eBay bag and a smaller eBay swag, eBay Open 25 tumbler. So it's the way we're going to do this is this. We have 108 people right now. So I want you to put in a number between 1 and 300. Okay, so that gives you a lot of room to pick a number. Do not pick a number that's been picked already. And I'm going to have Grok go on and do a random number generated between 1 and 300. Put that in the chat. And here in a few minutes, once everyone gets settled in and I get through these comments, then we will draw for a winner. Yummy Kitchen Direct says, I'm sure, just wait patiently. Yeah, for the package. Okay. Jane says, my sentences are messed up. Sorry, I'm doing inventory at the same time. Tay says, we miss her. Yeah, she'll be back next Monday. Next Monday she'll be back for the live. You lose on the winner says, y'all are too sweet, John and Jenna. Well, thank you. We try. Peddling Profits. Is talking to Samantha. John the Automator says, cha-ching, got my sale. There you go. And then Todd says, John wonking it. Working it. I ain't wonking anything. Andy says, hey, John, hold your card up and everyone can scan the QR code. So I have a QR code for the channel. Hopefully you're hitting the button, the like button, but it's not focused, so you may not get it. May not come up for you. Just hit the subscribe button. That's the easiest way to do it. That takes you to my channel, so you're already here. Reef the Sea Forever says sick. Samantha says, thanks, John. I appreciate your shipping insight as well. You're welcome. Well, we got a lot of people. Brandon, something from eBay would be awesome. Yes. And also, if you happen to put the same number as someone else, we have a tiebreaker. The first person that puts that number in the chat is going to win, which is why you don't want that. You can't have more than one number. So if you're on there twice, it's going to mess you up. You're going to be not eligible. So if you have put two numbers on there, go and delete your comment because we don't want that. And yes, Todd, I did 1 to 300, so I don't think I covered your age. I'm sorry, buddy. I had to say it. Do me a favor. Once we're done here, I want you guys in about 20 minutes to jump over to Bearded Picker's channel and go and hang out. They get together, talk anything under the sun, including reselling, and they have fun over there. So and I'll try to get in there if I can later, but I just have a whole lot going on that I have to deal with. So let me cue this up for a second here and get Grok to where they're going to work with me. So we'll go here and randomly generate a number between 1 and 300, and I'll put including those numbers so that it doesn't exclude those numbers, and show it on the screen. Okay, so here we go. Are you guys ready? Joey will put 301. That's funny. You lose automatically if you put 301. Okay, are you guys ready? I'll count down to 5. 4, Oops, let me get this comment off the screen real quick. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it goes. Good luck to everyone. So Larry M is the last submission. And what the hell is this? 241. Did you see what it did? It went through some weird calculation. 241. Let me go through here. Who got close to the 241? We have Morty the One is 231. We have, and it's the way I do it is if you go over, you could still win, but if you're the same number away from the number, the person that didn't go over gets the tiebreaker. I didn't say that. But Morty the One, 231. That's 9 off. Jim Hokey is 9 off. So far it's Morty the One. Do we have anything? We got 235. We got Jane's Jungle Safari is 6 off. And I think we got some more down here. Let's see. I think it's Jane. Am I right or wrong, guys? Is it Jane? She has 235. I have it on the screen. Anybody get closer to 235? Morty almost got there, but 235. Jane's Jungle Safari, I think, is our winner. So here's what you do, Jane. Send me an email at Flippin' Ain't Easy. I'll put it in the chat. 2020@gmail.com, and I will get your address from you, and I will send it out as soon as I get it. As soon as I get your address. So congratulations to Jane's Jungle Safari. That's awesome. And see what happens when you're kind enough to put yourself out there on the Members Live and put your store up for the few that are there to critique it. Good things come back to you. So that is awesome. So Jane is the winner. So again, I want to thank you guys for being here. I didn't have a whole lot to talk about, but the fact that we had a constant stream of over 100 people just hanging with me was awesome. I am going to get better. My eyes are going to get better at some point, but I'm on the right track. So thank you guys for wishing me well. Thank you guys for wishing Jenna well. And thank you guys for being here on a holiday weekend. I want you guys to not ship on Monday because that's going to be kind of futile. Don't take any packages because no one's going to be there. And just enjoy it with your family and friends or whoever it is that makes you happy. But hanging out with you guys has been fun. And I can't say it's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy because it makes it easier. So again, I want to thank you guys for having a great live with me. And we will talk to you guys here very soon. Take care.
Stocks, backs, returns, and lowball offers too. Zero takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have Mondays and Fridays.